I always don't want to limit myself to the fact that we are talking about children in school. We have many more children who are also not in school, and they are out there learning something. So whenever we are talking about learning, they have to also know that every technicalities that we talk about here in terms of learning, they are also required to follow. Because if you are learning how to do plumbing, and your master introduces you to a new mechanism or techniques, and you don't sit down and follow it through, you will not be able to study it. So you study it at the time that you are alone, so that you become perfect. That's why your master is perfect. Your master studied what he was taught, the new thing he learned. They also mastered it. For instance, seamstresses, for instance, you know, they go and buy papers, they cut them into material, then they sew. That is the studying. Because the master will teach you, oh, we cut it this way, patterns. Then when you are joining the patterns, how do you join them? So you use materials which are not wasteful. You don't use you don't go and buy new materials and waste it. So that's why they use papers. They use some nowadays they use card, how do we call it, lining and those things, and they are not very costly. So as you are progressing, you'll be using those things to also master the craft that has been introduced to you by your master. So learning is not only in schools, and even we the adults, we also learn. But since the program is limited to children, we tend to talk to them. Today we are talking about how to prepare the students going to school. Those who are going back to boarding school, or those who have come to stay home for 2 months or so and are going back to school. I wish to use this opportunity to assist the parents to talk to them. We know they have been talking to them, but maybe there are some things that we have also observed that we want to share with them. The first thing, or the things that I want to talk about today, are how to encourage the child to behave in school. You know, nowadays we hear of bad behavior in school. A student hit another one. I even saw a video, I don't know whether it's Ghana or anywhere. A student was able to carry one student, throw the person on the ground, and he died instantly. Sometimes students will face teachers. I saw a student slapping a teacher on social media in classroom. A student trying to prove stubborn and all that. In fact, these are all things that we may face in school. But let me assist parents to talk to the children in such a way that the children will not get themselves into these difficulties. The first thing I want to talk about is how the student must accept the fact that going to school is not about luxury. It's not about getting all the things they need. It's about getting the necessary things. We have things which are necessary and things which are important. Necessary things are the things that if you cannot get them, you cannot do something. And the important things are things that you need importantly to do many things. But there are some of them, some of the important things are necessary, because if you don't get them, you cannot move on. So as you are going to school, parents should talk to the children, let them know that if I don't get all the things for you, for instance, you need your Milo, you need your Gary, you need your books, you need all those things. If you don't get all of them, that does not mean that you are deficient. So they shouldn't go and compare themselves to others whose chop boxes and trunks are full of all the things they need, and even some of the things they do not need. Some of us give the children even some things they do not need. When they go to school, they preoccupy them. Obi or school. Ya manu niema garini niema ne adoso oko school kra onko classroom, because of tunania garini or tunania miloni or tunania say niema. We should give them the necessary things. Necessary things say adia ehia.
But Gary is important.
Yes, I'm talking about importance and necessity. It is important, but how the quantity that the child needs. Because yes, I need a child to manage your life. Say my quantity near too much. It tends to make them forget that they are even going to school. They are going to another environment. The environment is where we should learn how to trim our lives, how to make sure that we live within our means. School mu enyema yesua bebre no enti e wo se nkwara ni sua saade no awofo no e wo se man nkwara ni se school na wo kɔ no wo kɔ se nyema me de ma wo no wo kɔ hwɛ so yie na aboa mwade sua akɔso enya nu nti na wo kɔ obu okɔ mfa bi nkɔso obekɔ school okɔ a obesua de na meka we nyina no eno ye ade a me ehia me fo nkoda no
sir inti Mr. Mami ma example ba kona en confirm me near work on when we were at the SS senior high school no, I was in the boarding house inti I think it was it's the first Saturday and the last Saturday of the month and every 10 days. But we have students who are and your vested problems any parents the provisions brand so those students do things or misusing into or no frequently the provisions brand but they be an watching because only management
say beba
and she said no mommy and no papa promises that this week or this day I'm coming and they didn't come and they didn't appear. It becomes another issue.
Yes,
and now
psychological
provisions require their brand so unsustainable to 2 weeks and not 3 weeks because on him say I say their channel and on teaming manage and master 2 weeks in the crime but you will be so throughout the whole semester and you're the
that is exactly the point I'm making. Yes.
As in, they are always
the things are always available.
Yes, and managing even though it's available, no store, no because they don't know how to manage.
That is the point. So that is taking it from where you landed. That is what I'm saying, that parents should not give them too much. But if you give them necessary, what is necessary for them to be able to, to be able to help them. It is only to augment the food that they are using in the school. Eduane was school
for them.
Eduane in life, no. Enye niema nyina na ebenyo nti bedrum rebi no na akoda na nkasa we na adwuma nso na ba bi akɔhye kora wonya aduane ntoni. Obi timi kɔhye ba bi kɔyɛ adwuma me nyonko bi we adwuma kɛse pa okrum ha. Sometimes me friend no met my VR baby I know do makɔhye no aduane kura ni hɔ no wonya bi atɔ adi me ni nkomo no wo yesu wɔsi sɛ me nya bibia no mato but ɛhɔ nso na wɔso yɛ adwuma no satam wɔ hɔ nti do mu di 3 days wɔ me sɛ me timi ni di nkomo no afiro sɛ me wi gare nti no at the point in time asa di ni bi beto akora ni in future no wɔso otimi manage nti the make us so ne sɛ niema yɛ de ma wɔ mo no men cassette so but me say man necessary
niema ehia
no se wode beko
na parents so bebre asab musu so nya hwehwe nkakra bi hwem no wadura no afre house mistress me niema bi a me
ba hokra sese no me ka ye enkwara ni beko school mu no niema e de ma o me hwe se ebe ma hu management se de wo kan okwa obe manage obe ma nadamfo bi kura nya hwe nadamfo no so di bi aba bu okro mfa bi obe bi nya hwe na emom no o manage ne life e wo school in terms of niema de be manako obi osi niema wi asemna ndi akakra no agya no be osi niema na semna akakra dupuo no agya no ho because semna no ya ma ne be 15 wo de koy yes so you see people going Ankrah ne peke ya ni asabi ya mfa bebra ma ya be peke ni akowisu enti ni esua de management enti ya mankola ni hu so okọ school no nkoye wasteful. The second thing ne ade ehia me pa wo ne program no so ye enkoda ne teacher for no ntem. A child and a student and a student-teacher relationship. And from Kodano's point of view, and I'm making. Teachers are trained professionally to handle children professionally. If the teacher wants to be professional, they can be professional. But Akodana ofifia kon training in professional, you are training in morally and other aspects in the family. Obi have different family neighbor. Their Mr. Parents, a young cancer Kodana say. A dear teacher ni ebeye ni yapa ni sa akwara be show disrespect and obesanya disobedient. These two were this no are very dangerous in school. Disrespect and disobedience. Sa akwara no school na okoye disrespect or disrespected teachers na they will give him his will to do whatever he wants. So control mechanism will reduce from the teachers. Teachers yes we didn't come akwara way. What is the way back? What is it? Once an akwara life amano. Because you can say you see the professional mechanism no dia ta akwara na akwara be won say yempenasem. Enti teachers no so mo de ho de. Enti akwara na ikono yesra wo for mo nti ase say who go school ma respect your teacher and obey them. Not to the extent of them abusing you.
Yeah.
Say, go and obey the teacher. Say, teacher, I say,
In quotes.
Yes, I'm America. I was say, we are obedient.
You're talking about
Obedience. General obedience. So, obey my teacher, you know, alternating, obey man of crime and alternating. Especially, for instance, classroom. A credible classroom. Teacher ni bu ha we say teacher for obu a subject no kra wa kra no wo hye dan ni nye ho kese ti teacher ni be du dem ana wa ye nanim bibibi teacher ni nya rehwe ba subject ni na ne ho ye na hinti teacher na ye subject no teacher ni pia no mu na especially mathematics enti teacher ni bu san se de na ye wa omfi no sa teacher ni be feel say asa wa ya akoda ni bibi enti so person nya akora no obo akora no communicate kra the conversation is not forthcoming. Enti akwada and me so many say omu ko school mu omu make sure say omu teacher for ntembeye kama by showing disrespect and obedience. Teacher needs my work say your worker ye wo ye na wuti anya hwe enu nti ne de work na my teacher for my work ye hwe say the ekire on what yase ana. Are you okay with the way we taught you? When to me anya teacher ni kra my work when to me anya ne ani age because ekire say adwuma na ye ne wie na ya sign up go over na me de mintimi nya na wanya teacher ni ka say we disobedient ba bia na ye na wontimi nya ntu de ye de wa ho di betimi bia ye wutia enokra na be ma more information wutwa nso a ema teacher ni no ani gye more na wotimi ye adwuma no more man enti omo kono one classroom especially classroom they should give adequate obedience and respect to the teachers in the classroom. All the teachers, every subject, they shouldn't undermine any teacher in the classroom. They shouldn't say teacher we the subject me pento oba obekona wada. Me university secondary school bi. Me call classrooms, me call run kakra, me modin. Me call ye no. Na teacher ni chira de. Na nkoda ni bia da. Omada wo. Nkoda be 20. I counted about 20 students omada. Oh yeah, teacher ni na ka ma ayene din. Or you go so chira de. Now you can imagine say omo mada no omo so nya effect omo na ye no so o to as we ada so teacher nkan hwe na say den kwa wontie ti mi stress classroom management no enkoda no omo ko school a omo say we yes ade na ema teaching and learning ne course ema disu ne course yi ema so nya more benefit. The second thing I want to talk about enkoda ni be ko school ni say omo moral behavior na omo di wo fie no a eye no omo nkoda na di wo na nsami hu video bi wo TV so a school no akwara no ombe sheka boot na omne mema omapie ko Zen Louis enam se ehunu yenti mebodin ankoda wako school mu a wa wo force kokko sua de ne bra no woko sheka boot na woni wapie akọ me de ma so omne be me da ba sa no omo ka to omo kwa akotini
I think it was a visiting day and omko share e mema ne boot
enti de me ka tra wo fo ne say enye easy maye ne nso so ye ka bibi tu ni patrim ademba ko etimi to trim tim onye ye mo mu say those things no we have liberty to do those things when we are on our own. The moment obi ase eye o parents now ko school so teacher for ase no you have no right to do that. Let them know their right where it ends and where it starts, or where it ends and somebody else's starts. Ye do akoma se office school na onko na no na person ya mo awofo ne nti na so far as akwara na gia tum so ko school ndie awofo ne ma wo mu hu seriousness e wo mu say school na wo ko no e ye nhese wo na we decide so be ko school nti e ye nhese wo sua de e ye nhese wo hye wo teacher fo ase na teacher fo no build o ma capacity ni basoro na wo ko ye say me de me pese me ye bia me pese me ko ye no school mu a because me o scam de be fa ka akọ me ko ba ene kra yin nkola di me kra de me support sa akra ya de ne yin na di me support ye ma akra ne ntena se nye ntetre se we akra na ko school na se usuban ekuta wo no e suban a and undermine teaching and learning any discipline with school teacher ni bia ne woni asem enti nkora na omo be ko school sisi no yenim se omo ko dada omo ye dada but omo ko no omo show higher moral aptitude be bua ma teacher for nya more love for them. The more your teachers love you, the more they are able to give off their best. And he said, "Okona say, moral behavior ni I improve. ebi kura na o school na wonye kakra na improve almost a teacher for no say e wa kora e wo fie ba e wa dey we improve teacher no so attitude towards you will change. Teacher student relationship, if the attitude is positive, it brings greater academic success. Ti say akwara no opeso onya greater academic success. Yema awofo no teacher for enkancha akwara say wo teacher is the center. Sa akwara no okọ school the teacher in the center. Teacher no man advice no fa. Teacher no guiding no fa. Now o follow teachers ni instructions no follow in textbooks no any research kan ho a they are good to go. Okoye disobedient na especially ebinum cry challenging ebi anu osua bibi ate bibi ase baabi na teacher ni na ba na teacher no afford kakra e ho na wo be challenge se bibi kura wonim che wo teacher na yenkola bi wo ma biankasa naturally enti bibi wo kura teacher na kire kura wonim dada bra wo ho ase humility bra wo ho ase na ko teacher ni nase na bisa no uti bibi ase bi contribution classroom ye contribution student no kwan so ye contribution say I think the last time I was reading something and I saw that this is also, I mean, you are contributing. Don't make it a challenge. Because teachers no almost you nipa say you enkola na nipa na. Enti bi kra na baby wo na refi. Utimi tia na so. Yetimi twa de board so. O twere na wo ade na o twere nkra wa hwe. Na kra nka je say we ade a o twere we you. Because wa kyere wo mo onim say we na person o twere ba wo kra wa dwene adwendwene ye wo nipa so. Enti yema absolute decency and happy or classroom because I know muko school you know making sure say or classroom or my decency near juma or benya the greater part of the teacher. So okona ko na dwen say me na mani eden me na maba fie maba classes into the teacher and check me tiase minim dada into ochra me yi mani me din komo me where sa o demoralize teacher no. When the teacher is demoralized, what happens? The class is demoralized and you can see the effect on your performance.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Peter Twumasi Ankrah.